I am Ashish sir, Mr. Ashish Gupta. I am going to just interact on science with you. You are in quarantine and I hope that you are all well. Let us have a little bit of discussion on science. Take it as a minor studies and with interest you see. Children, around you, you see plenty of plants. Even at your home, you find there are small plants put in your tubs where the beautiful flowers are there. Or if you go to your home garden, or house garden, you'll see the small mango trees are laden with the mangoes, or guava, or jamun, whatever it is there, either at your home, if your home is having a lot of space, or else in neighboring house or so. And we all feel very happy when you find the beautiful flowers or the plants laden with the fruits. Although we might get it or not get it, that is not the question. The question is, we all feel very happy. Is not it, my dear children? So, you should know how do plants actually get this? The fruits and all those, how do they get? Do you think that the plants prepare their fruits and all those for you and me? No. Or for the other animals? No. They make it for themselves. But they produce it in such a huge way that easily they can continue their generation with this. Because you know the fruits produce the seeds and seeds again produce the new plants. And even after doing that, a lot of excess fruits and all those are there, which we, the heterotrophs, the human beings and other animals, they take it, either directly or indirectly. And let us see how do they do that. There are several kinds of plants are there on the surface of the earth. We are to discuss about the green plants. Usually the plants are green, and these green plants are actually responsible for preparing food. And you must know that a plant has several parts. The first part is that is the root. They are coming from the soil and holding the plant tight with the soil. And then above the soil there is shoot, and in shoot there are branches coming to leaves, and leaves, flowers and fruits. And that is how they go. So children, you see the green plants, what do they do? By studying about the green plant in this chapter 1 of your book, what you are going to learn? Your learning objectives will be the parts of a leaf. Although I'm giving you the hint of parts of a plant, complete plant also, but spatially you will know about the parts of a leaf. Then we come to know about the functions of a leaf. Then we will know about how the green leaves produce food. Obviously there is some technique, and that you are going to know. And again, the interdependence of the plants and animals, what I was explaining right now, that we are dependent for the food to the plants, but somehow the plants are also dependent on us, because during our respiration we leave carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide is used by the leaves, green leaves, to prepare the food. Now let us see what happens here. The green leaf is known as the kitchen or the laboratory of a plant. A kitchen means where your mommy and aunts and even some chefs and cooks make the food. Food for whom? Food for you people. So kitchen is a place where the food is prepared. So here it is said kitchen because it prepares the food for the plant itself. And then also it is a laboratory because this kitchen is having lot of chemical reactions is going on, and that is why it is known as the laboratory of the plant. Well, you see the green plant parts of a leaf. You see, first one is the dorsal or the reverse surface of the leaf. At your home, you find a leaf and you see one surface is very plain, smooth and waxy. This is due to cuticle. Cuticle is a waxy coating that covers the upper surface of the leaf and it prevents the leaf from decay, means spoilage or damage. Now, you have to just reverse the leaf. If you reverse the leaf, you will see there are ribs are there, and in ribs also, if you just put the leaf towards the sun, you will find there are numerous small spots are there. These spots are not got a fine holes which we cannot see properly through our naked eye, but we can see them with the microscope. And what do we see? We see a structure which is known as stoma. Stoma is singular and there are plenty, so they are known as stomata. Then what is the stomata for? Now children, the stomata looks like this. The stoma. Stoma is having, I told you it's an opening, and opening has two cells. Two cells like the guards. As you know, in big houses or palaces, there are guards stand beside the road, beside the gate. And if unwanted things come, people come, and everyone which is not required for that place, they'll not allow them to go. Like that, these guard cells, they also allow the necessary things to go into the leaf and the necessary things which is not required for the plant to come out of the plant. So that is how they do. So these are the guard cells which is present on the dorsal side. That means the other surface. And here is the structure of the leaf. A leaf is stuck with the plant with a part which is known as petiole or leaf stalk. Petiole or leaf stalk which holds the holds the leaf with the branches. Now here you see the leaf, this wide part is known as the leaf blade. And there is a pointed part at the tip is known as the leaf apex. And you see there is a vein, thick vein has come right from the petiole, petiole side to the apex. It's known as mid-rib. What is known as mid-rib? The rib that is present in the middle of the leaf, so that is known as mid-rib. And there are, the veins are there. Now children, there are two kinds of plants are there. One is monocot, like rice, wheat, maize, they are monocot. Now let us have a little discussion about this, what is monocot. Now you see there are two types, one is monocot, another is dicot. You must have eaten a mango. Now when you have eaten a mango, and if you see the seeds come out, and you wash it nicely, and just open the seed. If you open the seed, you will find two greenish, cream color things are coming together. And if you open it, you will find there is a small green spot there. That small green spot is known as the dormant embryo. What is embryo? That is the future baby plant. And what is that creamish green color matter? That is nothing but cotyledon or cot. In some seeds and plants, they produce one cot. That is why they are monocot. Mono means single, cot means leaf. So monocot. And dicot means mango, jackfruit, and all those plants. You see the seeds, and you take them. You find them that there are two parts in there. Have you had a pea or a chana that you take out and press it, or a mungfali, that is what is called peanut? You just press it, you will see that will open. And same thing, those two are the cotyledons, what you eat. Alright? So this is how the two cots, dicot, monocot, single cot. In the leaves, dicot leaves, there are net-like venation is there. The veins are like nets. That is, mid-rib and side leaves are there. But in monocot, the leaves are like that. And the veins are like this. So this is known as net venation and this is known as parallel venation. What venation? Parallel venation. The venation, that means the veins are placed in the parallel way. Well, we are now to go for the how do green leaves produce food. Now, you have already come to know about the parts of the leaves and you have come to know that they prepare their food in the leaf because leaf is the kitchen or the laboratory of the plant. Now you are eager to know how do they do that. Now how do they make their food? You see right here. So photosynthesis is a process. Why this process is called photosynthesis? Now you see, photo means light. And what is the source of the light? Light source is the sun. So sun provides light. So that light, along with the another part of the word is synthesis. Synthesis means putting together, making. So food prepared by light is known as photosynthesis. Now there are several things are there. Now, there is a chemical equation is there for the photosynthesis. That means the plants take carbon dioxide from the air or atmosphere. And then there is water which they take along with the minerals from the soil through the roots. Well children, what we are discussing about the preparation of the food, that means this is the equation, carbon dioxide along with the water. And then we have the light energy and the green pigment. You know the leaves are green. For what? Because they are having a pigment called chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is having the power of catching the sunlight and converting it into heat. And that heat is used for breaking down the water into hydrogen and hydroxyl ion. When you grow up, you will understand about these ions and radicals, and then this is how they undergo the process forming glucose, I told you, as the starch, and oxygen. Oxygen as a byproduct which is released in the atmosphere to make up the oxygen which has been used by us, and carbon dioxide which comes out to maintain the balance of the nature. We leave carbon dioxide after respiration, which the plants take to prepare their food and which is used in the preparation of the food. Now, let us see what are the functions of a leaf. Number one, they produce food. They produce food. Food production is the first duty of the leaf. The second one, exchange of gases. Exchange of gases. That means, I told you that they take carbon dioxide and leave oxygen. That is the exchange of the gases. That has been done. And the food storage. They prepare the food and store it. They prepare the food and as well as they store it. Then, as the photosynthetic process goes on, the plants get the supply of the water continuously from the soil. So sometimes the plant has plenty of water which may harm them, causing the drooping of the leaves. So in that case they leave the water into the atmosphere. This is also the function of the leaf, and that is known as transpiration. That is known as transpiration. Transpiration is nothing but the evaporation of the excess water from the plant body to the atmosphere, and it also gives the cool feeling in the atmosphere. And except of that, there is reproduction, which is also done by leaves. Now, in your surroundings, you might have seen this type of leaf is there, which is known as bryophyllum leaf. Bryophyllum leaf. Not in all, but this bryophyllum leaf gives out the new generation. That means the plants grow from the leaf. They come out from the joint. So this is called the reproduction. And as they are from the parts of the plant, so they are known as the vegetative reproduction. So after that we can go for the plant. You know, this is the function. There are root hairs are there. Through root hairs they suck the water along with the minerals. And this water and minerals is known as sap that has been conducted to the leaves, and in the leaves, in presence of that green pigment, they convert this, breaking up the water, they form the carbohydrates. Now, there is a test by which you can see whether the food is prepared by photosynthesis or not. Just watch. This can be like this. Take some food prepared over in this dish. Okay? And keep some iodine solution. Iodine solution in this. Now, photosynthesis prepares the starch that I told. The glucose is also one of the starch. Now, if you just put iodine solution in the food, if it turns blue-black, this will confirm the test for the starch. If there is starch, the color will come blue-black. If there is no starch, the color will not change. The iodine color will remain same. Well, now, photosynthesis gives the whole organisms the food. I told you in the beginning introduction that the green plants make food, and this food they use for their own purpose as well as the excess food we use either directly by the herbivorous plants and then like us, omnivores and some carnivores also. The carnivores they eat the herbivores and we eat both the plants and animals both. So that is how they supply the food to all. For example, you get all the cereals that you eat from the plants, medicine, fruits, vegetables, everything we get from the plants. So plant supply us food. Now, except of that, we use the oxygen for our respiration. So there is a deficiency of oxygen in the atmosphere. So this deficiency of oxygen is made up by the plant. When they do the photosynthesis, they release the oxygen. I told you by the equation that they release the oxygen in the atmosphere. And to your knowledge, the 4.5% oxygen is used by the human beings, and 4.5% increase in the carbon dioxide is done by the human beings. And all this is made up by the photosynthesis and the green plant. So there is an interdependence between the animals and the plants. We do depend for the food. We do depend for the food to the plants. Why? The plants also require carbon dioxide to prepare the food. So there is a cycle, and this is how the ecological balance of the gases in atmosphere is done. Now, as the plants grow, especially the flowering plants, they have the flower. So, in this flower is the reproductive part of the plant, and by the flower they make the seeds. When seeds are produced, they are produced in bulk. So, this cannot be dispersed in one place. If they are dispersed in one place, there will be a lot of crowd and they will die. So, that is why the seeds are to be dispersed. First agent of dispersal of seed is wind. Some plants like maize and all those having a very fine seeds which can float and fly in the air. So they go far off places and get germinated. So that is why that is by dispersal by wind. Number two, there is a dispersal by the animals. Now, animals eat the food. Animals eat the food and they throw the food elsewhere. And then some animals, when they come to the jungle, their body stuck with the jungle hairs and the seeds like dandelion and all those, they have the hook-like structure. Thutura, they have the hook-like structure, so that is stuck with the body of the animals. And animals, when they go out, they disperse it, they spread it over various places. And that is why the dispersal is done like that. The birds disperse because they eat the fruit along with the seed. And they fly from this place to the other place. And then they drop it as their droppings. In the droppings the seeds are there and that has been dispersed to different places. Now there are some seeds which can float in the water like coconut. And these seeds go through the water with the water current for thousands of miles. So that is why you see the coconut plantations are always just beside the sea and the hills and lakes. So their seeds can go floating from one place to the other. That is how they disperse. Another mechanism is there which we find in pea. What is that? It is known as explosive mechanism. Explosive mechanism. Well, children, what we are discussing about the dispersal of seeds, while we have come to the last dispersal, that is dispersal by the explosive mechanism. You see, the pea pods are there. In there the pea are arranged in a pod. And when they are ripened, at a certain time they burst. That is called explosion. By explosion they scatter the seeds, and that is how the seeds that is dispersed. And dispersal is required for the plants, for the growth of the seeds, germination and the growth of the seeds properly. But where do the seeds come? Right? See, I told you about the flowers. And the flowers are having male unit as pollen grains. And female unit, that is their stigma. So, the male pollen grain comes and falls on the stigma is known as the pollination. The pollination is of two types. One is self-pollination, another one is cross-pollination. So in self-pollination, the pollen grains from the same flower, same plant comes to the stigma, that means the female part, on the same plant. And in cross-pollination, the insects usually, the bees and all, they carry the pollen grains from one plant to the other female plant. And that is how cross-pollination is done. And after the self-pollination or cross-pollination, the fertilization occurs between the fusion of the gametes. Male gamete means pollen and female gamete means ovum. That has gone through to give you the fertilization. After the flower is fertilized, the flower dries up, fruits come up, and inside the fruits the ovules grow into the seeds. And from the seeds, we get the new plants. And these are the way by which the seeds are dispersed. That is all about the chapter. All the question answers given in the exercise, you will get it in www.bsnes.in. There you click, you will get all answers there. MCQs, true, false, all question answers are there. And I hope you have understood the chapter. Go through it nicely. Take interest in your studies. Thank you and have a good day.